It's when you know that person needs to hear something and you're hesitant upon saying it because you don't know how it's going to be taken. But you've got that nudge that says, say it. And so you do, and you see this quietness come over them, like they're absorbing what you just said. And then you see the glow come out. Then you see this happiness or this peace. You see their aura totally change and stuff. That's a beautiful moment.
Welcome back to the Quiet Knowing podcast. Today we're joined by Reiki Master and Death Doula, Diana Smith. Diana, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is a true honor.
You have such a lovely, calming energy about you.
Oh, I've got you fooled.
So you have like a crazy side to you.
Well, a little bit. Yeah, it's the Leo in me.
Oh,
I blame it on the
way.
Leo with a little Sagittarius on the side.
Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Are you a Leo sun?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sagittarius moon.
Okay.
So they kind of balance me out there.
Gotcha. So a question that we always like to start with is, what is the quiet knowing to you specifically?
Oh, the quiet knowing. It's when you know something that you shouldn't know. When things come to you automatically. It can be a gentle whisper, and you just know. It's a feeling of knowing the atmosphere around you, the vibrations around you, without sound, without words, the quiet knowing. That's pretty much what it means to me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how it's led to what you're doing today?
I look at myself as the life I have lived, the good and the bad, the educations, the work, the professional fields that I've had. They were all puzzle pieces. So as I've always been a person that wants to learn. I've always been very open-minded. And I love the adventure and the exploration of new things, of new thoughts, of new lives. And so those puzzle pieces were all starting to come together between learning holistic medicine, learning Eastern medicine, learning about how herbs and crystals and energy all works, and how all of this works hand in hand. So anyway, all these puzzle pieces were all starting to fit together. And they all brought me to my final goal in life is to be an end-of-life death doula. So I am here now to help those who are passing or getting ready to pass and their families, to help them go through what is a very spiritual and honoring process of death, and to let them know that there is nothing to fear in death, that death is a very natural process, just the way we were born. And stuff, we go through another door.
Yeah. That's beautiful. You know, he was talking about your calming presence and your voice. I just can't imagine a better person to be there to assist someone through that process.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure you give people so much comfort.
I try.
For those who are unfamiliar, what is a death doula?
Okay, a death doula, there are actually kind of two parts to it. There is a death doula that you follow somebody from the very beginning that they are told that they're terminally ill. And you will follow them from the beginning with them and their families in helping them go through the stages, helping them to plan ahead of time, like an advance directive, a will, and then to go through those steps of today, unfortunately, we've made them uncomfortable steps when many years ago, they were natural steps. But today, they're uncomfortable steps because we actually talk about the death. And what do you want to say to your loved ones? If you've got something on your chest, this is the time to do it. And the same for the family members and friends to come and say what they need to say to you while you're still present. Those are the little steps and stuff that help that process, that when you are getting ready to transfer into wherever it is that you're going to, that makes that journey so much smoother. That it's a divine spiritual thing for you to go, because everything is now tied up and done. Mm-hmm. And it's not only for you, but it's for all of your family members as well. So they go through that peaceful process as well. So that's one death doula that goes from the very beginning to the end. The other death doula is where you might be in a hospice facility where somebody may have just a very short period of time. So you are there to be with them and be present, to hold their hand, to talk with them, to give them comfort, help them spiritually, whatever questions or things that you can help answer with. And if you don't have the answers, you find the answers for them. It's a time to help them bring the family members in and again have those short, uncomfortable conversations. And then to help them be able to transfer through their death process, through their journey.
Was there a specific moment where you had, maybe the quiet knowing to be like, I'm going to become a death doula?
Yeah.
Well, it was actually through a meditation.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you the whole story of how this just kind of smacked me in the face, because that's exactly what it did. It smacked me in the face. And a lot of people would probably think that I was absolutely crazy, but that's okay. They can think what they like, but I know fact. But I was doing a face chat with my daughter-in-law, and she said, "Mom, point your phone towards the window." Mm-hmm. So I did. Then we went back and had our conversation, and she said, after you hang up, pull up the picture I'm sending you. Mm-hmm. So I did. And right beside me was a dark shadow, mm-hmm. the figure of a shadow. It didn't scare me or anything like that, because I welcome those things. Mm-hmm. And I knew, I had a feeling that it was a spirit guide. And so I got my pendulum out. I started asking questions. Are you a relative? Of course, got no. So I asked, are you a spirit? And I got kind of a not sure kind of swing. And then I asked, well, are you my spirit guide? And it was a positive. So then I asked if you are Walks with Fire, who was a part of a past life.
Okay.
And Walks with Fire in the past life was me.
Mm-hmm.
So that night, I went into a deep meditation, and Walks with Fire told me, I am here to be the light for you, to guide those through. Take them through the veil. Show them the peace. Show them the way of dying in honor. And that was the smack in the face.
Yeah.
Of saying, okay, all of these things that I have learned, all of the self-awareness, the vibrations, the sounds, that quiet knowing.
Mm-hmm. Have you always been kind of spiritually inclined or interested in spirituality, even as a kid?
Oh, even as a child, yes. Yes, I used to be one of those crazy children that when a Tulsa major storm was coming in, I'd be dancing out in the yard and stuff. That energy, you just go.
Yeah, I know. I love it too.
I was crazy, but I was very much spiritual and stuff. I went to a Southern Baptist church, grew up in the church. Was very, very active and stuff in the church pretty much most of my life. But I always had such an open mind. So I was always very inquisitive about space, about the ghosts and the unknowing, the quantum physics.
Gotcha. Where do you think that open-mindedness came from?
My father.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like that too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, very much so. He never went to church.
Oh, really?
Really didn't want much to do with it. But my father was blind. And there was just, for him, there was a knowing.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I think there was for my grandmother, his mother.
Okay.
And stuff as well. That woman could work some magic in a kitchen.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She could put food together from just scraps and feed, 9, 12 people.
Wow.
And stuff from just, that's what I mean. She was amazing in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And stuff, yeah. But that was kind of, I guess, growing up, I was always very spiritual, and there was always something there. Again, it was always that knowing that there was something more.
Yeah.
There was something more in you.
Was there a turning point, or was it kind of more like a slow realization or something?
Just always there.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's always
it was pretty much always there.
Yeah.
I know in middle school, except back then it was junior high school. There were a group of us that we were always looking at books about witchcraft and things like that.
Yeah.
And then getting into my older years, about the time I was going to nursing school and stuff in Wichita, I met with a coven and stuff, and they tweaked my interest and stuff again to look at herbalism. And having this nursing background, I wanted to learn more about herbs. That was just another form of nursing, another form of medicine.
Yeah, right.
And then I ended up meeting my husband and moving to the East Coast. And just started another life, another chapter in my life there. Yeah. And then coming back to Oklahoma, I think it was this eye-opening event, I will say, because when I left Oklahoma, it was like you whispered the word witch. Anything that was metaphysical was whispered.
Right.
And you didn't let people know that you were interested.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So as an omnist, I had been studying different religions, different cultures, different belief systems, and finding that there were truths in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I started learning and studying. I went to a place, don't know if I can say the name or not, but Energistics. And I started learning about energy work, about healing, more things about chakras. I'd always learned little bits and pieces of all these different things out there, but to jump down the rabbit hole and really learn them and stuff, that's where I started digging in. So then I became a Reiki master. I became quite good in Karuna.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started getting into Kundalini. That was more eye-opening. And then I learned shaman Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
And then I became a shaman and started connecting more with earth and the spirits that are always around us, that we always talk to, that are always there and open. And understanding that this was all the same energy that flows through every single one of us. And when you think about the human body, all of the elements, the fluids, everything that we are made up of is earth that we walk on every day. We are those same elements as earth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we are so connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about what Reiki is for anyone who's not familiar with Reiki?
Reiki is an energy. Again, same energy that you are. So that if you're feeling off, it can be spiritual, it can be physical, it can be mental, it can be psychological. It is finding that person that you feel comfortable with, that you feel that your soul can blend with their soul or their spirit to spirit connection. And when you do that, that Reiki person, Reiki master, it can be a level 1, level 2. They can actually feel the energy in your body and where you need the healing the most. A Reiki person is somebody who I consider as hollow bone.
What do you mean by that?
That when you are a conduit for whatever energy is out there, whatever your belief system is, if it is an archangel, if it is God, if it is an ancestor, that's the energy you draw down through this hollow bone.
I see.
That energy flows into your energy, and that becomes the healing source, whether it is for your chakras, if it is for your spiritual healing, if it is for your mental healing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the energy flows to.
It sounds like you've learned a lot of beautiful practices that really have come together to help you in what you're doing today.
Oh, absolutely. I can't say that my Reiki is now any specific type like Usuri.
Mm-hmm.
It has evolved
Yeah.
with a combination of shamanism,
Mm-hmm.
Kundalini. So, because those things came from different parts of the world. So it's all accumulated now
Yeah.
kind of into my own spiritual method, I guess you could say. Because there are times that a person I will feel needs something that is more vibration. So I might use a small rattle, or I might use my drum. The vibration of drum and stuff is healing. Certain sounds like wind chimes and stuff, those simple tones and stuff is healing to the spirit, to your mind, opens up your third eye and stuff. So it might be those little tools that I would use. Or it could be somebody else that I would use crystals. So I would get different crystals and stones, and I would use those to help center and balance and heal their chakras, that their chakras are all in alignment. So that is another tool that I might use, or a whole combination of all of them. A tuning fork,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Going back to the death doula side of things, is that something that they teach you in nursing school, or do you have to kind of go through different training for that?
In nursing school, they really don't teach you about death and dying. My very first patient that I was given was a young man, and I was told to take his chart with me. They knew that he was terminal. He had a blue code on him. Blue codes at that time were meant there was nothing that you were to do to try and to resuscitate or anything like that. They were just left there to pass. You were there to just be witness, to write down. Well, I was a student, so this was a part of my introduction to death. Now, back then, that's what they called old school nursing. It's done totally, totally different today. So I sat beside the young man's bed and basically just did his respirations and pulse until death. Now, when somebody is dying, a lot of times fluid secretions will get into their throat, so you get this gurgling sound. And a lot of times, if we were allowed to resuscitate, well, we would pull those fluids out so that they could breathe easier. Not with this gentleman. I had to sit there and watch him gurgle as he was conscious and knew that he was passing, and he was passing in fear. I had to get up from that bedside and go get a charge nurse and say, you've got to have somebody else come in there because I can't do it. I left. I left the hospital, went home. Of course, the next morning I was confronted by my instructor, and I was told that I needed to learn to become an actress, that I needed to learn to be loving and kind and stuff on the outside, but on the inside, I needed to be stern and just put stuff away, just pack it away. And I told her, I said, I'm not an actress. I'm a nurse. Nurses have compassion and understanding. And so I was lucky to get through and graduate that year. But yeah, that was my first experience with death.
They threw you to the wolves, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, things are taught totally different to nurses. They actually go through several classes about dying. That was something that I did back in Delaware. For about 11 years, I taught the graduating nurses that were leaving, I would spend about an hour with them
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, talking about death
Yeah.
and perinatal losses and things like that.
Gotcha.
The do's and don'ts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, most people don't have much experience with death at all. Even with, friends and family members, a lot of them aren't there witnessing it. And, most of it comes from media, which doesn't portray it accurately at all.
Not at all.
And
Not
my
at
only
all.
experience with it is, the really cool thing about the internet is you can go and there's so much education out there for literally everything. And I don't know how, it's just like one of those random things that was suggested to me on YouTube. It was a YouTube channel where she's a death doula, and she, with permission and everything, will show the process of someone passing. And it was very, very interesting and educational. And I feel like, lots of people should have the opportunity to learn about it in this, kind of beautiful way that you're describing.
Well, years ago, many years ago, before we really had funeral homes and hospices, things like that, it was always the family and friends that took care of the dying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They did everything for them. So it was a very natural thing.
Yeah.
It was handed down to your children, to your grandchildren, and so on, that this is what you do when somebody is dying. And then you take the time after death to bathe them and have a wake, or whatever your beliefs are, for the time of death. And it was all natural. There was no fear or anything to it. But in today's society, death is the number one fear.
Yeah.
We have put so much fear into it. And now we're trying to change the concept of doctors, and so that the doctors don't feel like they're failures because a patient died.
I can't imagine what that must be like.
And, yeah. And so, because, and then family members look at, well, the doctor didn't save him or didn't save her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's another fear factor that goes into it. That fear or death is to be feared. It's those little things out there like that that puts a fear instinct into you.
What advice would you give to someone who is coming closer to that point in their lives to kind of help them, work through it?
Embrace it. Do the things that you want to do with what's left of your life. You still have total autonomy over your life, even up to the point of dying and passing over. Here in Oklahoma, you have the choice of refusing food and water, and nobody can force that on you. Now, I understand there are some loopholes and stuff in that, but that's something I will take to heart, because as a doula, you become the voice of your client, and you're going to try and see that all of their wishes come true. That is your main focus, your goal. In other states, they have what is called MAID. And MAID is where, when you are still of sound mind and you're talking with your primary care physician, and your physician feels that you're of sound mind to do this, that they can actually give you a medication that will stop your heartbeat, will end your life. Now, the doctor is not allowed, nobody is allowed to give you this medication, whether it's oral or injected. You have to be able to do it yourself. So quite often, somebody, the doula is usually present and stuff. And when the doctor gives them the medication, it's like, well, I'm not going to do it today. That's the autonomy part of it, is they get to decide when they are ready. You always have, or always should, have your voice heard all the way up until death. That's how it's supposed to be. And that's how it was in the past. And that's how it should be in the future.
Mm-hmm. I know, as like someone who's always been pretty spiritual, I've always tried to have like an open mind about death and to accept it and everything. And I do. But when I think about what would it be like to actually face it, you know, I have like the fears come up, and I want to say it's because there's still so much that I want to do, you know? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, somebody who has been close to that point in my life, some years ago, I was told that I was dying.
Oh, okay.
And to the point that my family had been called in and stuff, and I was at home. And it had crossed my mind. There a lot of thought and stuff there. What I know today is that there really is, it's not an ending. It's the end of this body that has been wonderful, has gotten me through so many things in this world. But I know it's not an end to me. Again, this is a part of earth. But what's in me, what makes me, is the spirit.
Right.
Is that energy. That goes on. And will always go on. So I look at it as that first trip to Japan.
Yeah.
That adventure.
I see. Yeah.
That whether that my new adventure is going off to another universe. You know, if I'm going to see new planets. Or it might be an adventure into the ocean. Seeing the world in a whole totally different view. But it's wherever me in my spirit form goes. It'll always be my choice, wherever I'm going. That's how I look at it. That's how I embrace it, is that it's not an end.
Yeah.
It's not an end for any of us. Yeah, and I think once you realize that it's that this is just the shell you're in, and that's going to go away. That's inevitable and stuff. But you continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once you accept that and realize that, that fear is gone. And I can tell you from experience with people who have passed over and stuff, they are just elated. I can't even think of the word, elated at what they are seeing before them. Sometimes there are other relatives and people there, or animals and things like that they see, and they get so excited, and their eyes get so big, and they smile and they're happy and stuff. And then they quietly shut their eyes and they're gone. That's the acceptance and what they see. My father had, when he was getting ready to pass, I had the opportunity to be with him about 6 months before he died. And so I was his caretaker. And we used to talk quite often, very open-minded about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Dad, when it comes time for you to die, if there's a way that you're going to let me know that there's something on the other side, can you let me know? And he goes, yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. No problem there. So when the time came and he passed, and we were going through all of our grieving cycles and everything, I was back in Delaware, and I was hanging up my son's clothes. And my son at the time had this big, it was like a train, not a train, but a fire truck.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire truck had all the bells and whistles and all of that stuff, even smoked. And I mean, it was a mess, but it had the little lights and everything. But anyway, I was hanging the clothes up, and I hear the bells and things are going off on the fire truck. And I immediately saw my father's face, and I turned around expecting to see him. Of course, he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And I thought, it's just the grief. You're just imagining this, So I guess it was a week later, and again, I'm doing the same thing, hanging up Josh's clothes. Again, this train goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I see my father's face, but he's not there.
Yeah.
So I was picking up on his presence.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see him, but he wasn't there. So I thought, again, it's just my imagination. I know this stuff. I've been a grief counselor. I know that this is a normal process. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking myself out of what I'm really feeling. Mm-hmm. So I thought, there's got to be something going on with this fire truck that I need to disconnect wires or something, check the batteries. Batteries probably need to be changed.
Yeah.
You know how fire alarms go off when the battery's going down. So I thought, that's got to be what it is. Well, I go over and I pick up the truck. There's no batteries in there.
Oh my gosh.
Those bells and whistles should not have been going off. There were no batteries.
Wow.
So I just looked around. I said, what the hell, Dad? I thought you weren't going to scare the shit out of me. So that was my father was a practical joker and stuff too. Yeah. So he was quite a character. So that all kind of made sense that he would do something like that. Yeah. But that was his way, his sign of saying, yes, there is something more on the other side. Mm-hmm. That you continue. It's not the end.
You kind of touched on it, but what's something from your experience that you feel really helps with those who are really struggling through the grieving process?
Grief is what I would call it's a roller coaster ride. Uh-huh. You're going to have days that you're feeling wonderful. You're not feeling so much of the pain. And then the very next day, you're going to be at the very bottom of that roller coaster where the pain is so intense that it is physical pain. Grief can be physical, mental, and psychological. Mm-hmm. And there are several different stages of grief that we go through. There are days that you're going to be furious. You're going to be so mad. And these are things that are all so normal.
Right.
And that's why you need to constantly remind yourself that all these emotions, these feelings, this roller coaster that you're on, you're not going crazy. Those are normal stages of grief. But it is how you handle those emotions that get you through what I call a healthy grief. Mm-hmm. It's accepting those emotions. It's going through those emotions and realizing that it is normal and that this is going to be a time process thing.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever put a time limit on your grief. Number one mistake that you can make is that I can grieve for a week and I'll be fine. I can grieve for a year and I'll be fine. Well, maybe 2 years and I'll be fine. You never forget the person that you've lost or the loved one you've lost. I lost a baby. I lost a daughter. And I thought my life was gone. How was I going to deal with that grief? Because for me, it was very physical and psychological. I found that not only had I lost her, but I had lost friends because the friends did not know how to approach me without making me cry. If they thought they would say the wrong thing to me to make me cry. So they just avoided me. But avoiding me made me feel more grief.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would, as a grieving person, I would now tell my friends, don't avoid me.
Yeah.
Come up to me. Say those things that you want to say to me. And if I cry, that's a wonderful thing because crying is that release of the grief.
Yeah. Right.
Those tears are healthy. They're important.
Yeah.
I felt the same way when my cousin passed away. She was 19 and people just kind of avoided talking to me about it, but I really wanted to talk about it. And I understood that it was awkward for people, but I just remember in that moment really wishing that more people would kind of ask me about it or just let me talk about it.
Yeah.
But I know everyone's
absolutely.
different too. So
yeah. The other important thing I could tell you too is that, like for grieving parents or siblings and stuff, that let the other person know where you're at on that roller coaster ride. Keep the lines of communication constantly open. If you wake up in the morning and you just had a miserable night of reliving the death, tell the other person, let them know where you're at on that ride.
that's good advice.
Because they might be up here on the roller coaster having a wonderful day, but you could be down here. Let them know you're down here so that they're not being envious because you're up here. You're not grieving as hard as I am. You start saying those hurtful things. When, they are grieving just as hard as you are.
Yeah.
That's why the communication is so, so important.
What are some common regrets that people have during their dying process?
That they never told the person how they really felt. That they never had the opportunity, if you were dying, to tell somebody that you loved them or that I forgive you, and vice versa. If it's a family member telling the person that's passing, I forgive you. I love you. There is something I want to tell you about that.
Yeah, of course.
I and another person are getting ready to do is that we want to start a support group and stuff for those who are grieving.
That's lovely.
And we want to make it an open support group to any religions or to any belief systems and things like that, that knowing that you can come to a safe place that's going to be open-minded that is going to be of a loving, warm, embracing place that you can come to sit and talk about those that you're grieving.
Yeah, that sounds really lovely.
Yeah. So we might even incorporate things of meditation,
Yeah.
sound baths,
Mm-hmm.
Different things like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
just
let
to
me
help
know
with that
whenever you
grief.
do that, and we'll share that group for you.
That'll be great.
Yeah, of course.
Do you get to openly practice Reiki and other things as a death doula, or do you
As a
keep those
doula?
kind of
What?
separate?
Actually, that is something that's people are starting to do now, like with a sound bath for somebody who is getting ready to pass, and the same with Reiki and stuff, because it can be very soothing. And a lot of times with Reiki, if you take them into a meditative state and stuff as you're doing Reiki, it's very soothing and calming, takes away the anxiety and stuff, the fear and stuff. So yeah, those will be things that if I am allowed to,
Right.
and with permission of the family,
Of course.
and of course of the person that is getting ready to pass, to do that. Yeah.
How do you personally experience intuitive guidance and nudges?
Oh, well, let's see. Sometimes it can be in synchronicity and stuff, always being open and paying attention, being aware. Sometimes it can be just a little nudge from my dog and stuff. He'll let me know sometimes that or he brings me aware to if there's a spirit or something in the room that I'm not paying attention to. So they're there's little subtle things. Every morning I go out onto my patio, and that is my morning to give gratitude. So I'm thanking the universe, and I'm thanking the star nations, and I'm thanking Panchamiya, Gaia, the one who is unnameable, and the one that's known by many. And I'm going through all of these things and being grateful. Making a very long story short, I'm grateful for many, many things. But when I finally give my thanks and stuff, and sometimes I'll feel this little breeze that will just come across me saying, "You're welcome. We love you." It is that knowing, I think that being open-minded, being aware, being conscious, you see those subtle things.
Tell us about a time where you followed that inner guidance and something beautiful happened as a result.
I've actually had a lot of really, like there are times that, I'll just tell you something that happened recently and stuff, that I was in the house and just got a feeling that I needed to go outside. So where I live in a cul-de-sac, and all the property back behind me is like 300 plus acres of just land. And so I went outside, and here were probably 30, 35 deer out in the field. And they're all jumping and playing. I'd never seen deer before. Literally jumping over each other. They were playing with each other, and they were doing these little quick turns and chasing each other. And I thought that was just the neatest thing to be able to see
Mm-hmm.
because it's rare that you see that many deer out there, and to be playing the way they were. I thought, wow, they're enjoying the fall. That fall's coming in, but it was really so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really the most current thing that I thought was really beautiful.
Yeah.
There are times that I've been out at Claremore Lake and things like that, and just the some beautiful sunsets or sunrises and stuff we get out there. As a intuition for a person and stuff, it's when you know that person needs to hear something, and you're hesitant upon saying it because you don't know how it's going to be taken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got that nudge
Yep.
that says, say
I'm
it,
supposed
say
to
it.
say this. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you do, and you see this quietness come over them, like they're absorbing what you just said. And then you see the glow come out. Then you see this happiness or this peace. You see their aura totally change
Yeah.
and stuff. That's a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. Yeah. I love those moments.
We've had moments like that. Mine, I feel like a lot of mine are kind of like seemingly insignificant, but it's still
none
just
of them are insignificant. None
right.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I try to listen every time I get that feeling because, I know it's important. But sometimes it's awkward. You're like, I don't know you very well, but I'm supposed to tell you this.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Sometimes you just take those chances.
Yeah. Yeah. This one time, I was like 15 and I was at my girlfriend's house, and her mom and her older sister were there, and her older sister was pregnant, and we had just gotten out of school and we're visiting with them. And then we were going upstairs, and as I was going up the stairs, I just froze and said, "the baby." And this was all like kind of compulsive, out of my control or whatever. And my girlfriend was like, "What?" And I was like, I don't know. And then we went upstairs, and then a few minutes later, her sister's water broke and they went to the hospital. But yeah, that was a crazy experience to be used like that. You know what I mean? In that like kind of spiritual way or whatever. Yeah, it was really cool to experience.
They let you know.
Right. Yeah.
So do you think our soul has a divine plan, or is it something that we create?
I think it's a little of both, to tell you the truth. I think we are divine to begin with. So then when we start deciding and making a plan for ourselves, as we call it, the soul contract and stuff, is what our life is going to be. We have chosen the life that we want it to be because we want to experience those things that this body is going to go through in this world, in this life. So we look at it as a learning process, that we're going to go through and come out on the other end with more knowledge. But I also think that we already have that knowledge to begin with. So whether it is just something we want to experiment with, I might be going too deep here.
No.
And stuff, but
sometimes I feel like it's all kind of just for fun or just for the experience. And
the experience of it. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I kind of feel about it.
Yeah.
And get to be able to do something like this.
Yeah.
I think if I were in my energetic type being and stuff, I wouldn't be doing this because I would be still connected to you. We would still be as the one.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I'm in this existence, I'm separate. So I get to have this experience,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
It
a
does make
different
sense.
perspective, right?
Hey guys, just a quick pause for a moment. If you've been called to slow down, listen a little bit more deeply, or come back into alignment with who you truly are, this offering may be for you. My Soul Aligned Spiritual Mentorship is a one-on-one experience designed to meet you exactly where you are. In our sessions, we'll explore what you need in the moment to support your healing, growth, and transformation. Whether that's energy or sound healing, intuitive guidance, or gentle reflections, exercises, or journaling. It's a sacred space for you to reconnect, realign, and remember your own inner wisdom. I'd truly be honored to work with you. And as a special thank you to Quiet Knowing listeners, you may receive $20 off your first 2 sessions. Just email the Quiet Knowing podcast at gmail.com to learn more or to schedule.
I can kind of see the timer, but it's
Is that hour and 11?
okay. That's what I think I
Okay.
can see.
All right. Well, anyway.
Are you guys in panic mode here all of a sudden?
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just always was proud of my vision as like a little kid. I was the only one out of my 3 siblings and my mom who didn't need glasses. And I can, just, I mean, I still have really good vision, but I can tell that it's like not as good. And so,
It's just part of aging, I guess.
but she can see better than me now.
Yeah, and I used to wear glasses and I don't anymore.
She improved her
Nice.
vision.
I decided I wanted to just heal my eyesight. So that's what I've been working on.
Good.
Like, I'm going to do it. But anyway,
Yeah, me too.
well, good.
My heart, the apex of my heart is no longer dead
That's awesome.
and stuff.
Wait,
It's
really?
developed all these new blood vessels and stuff now go to the apex.
You had like a heart condition or something, and
I've had 2 heart attacks.
no way.
Yeah.
And you've done healing for it?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what has helped in that regard the most?
My change in attitude, my physical, becoming more physical, I guess I should
Okay.
put it that way, becoming more physical and changing my attitude, my mind frame, that open-mindedness that I can heal myself.
Okay.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah, of doing that, of being mindful of my body, paying attention
Okay.
to what my body's trying to tell me
Okay. Yeah.
and stuff. Again, it's that separation of spirit and body and stuff. It's like, if you want to hold on to this body for a little while, you need to start listening to it. My whole health has gotten so much better. I was a diabetic for years. Well, you'll always be a diabetic once you're diagnosed. But I ended up, I was on insulin for years, mega doses of insulin. I've been off of insulin for 1.5 years.
Wow. And you just use the same process?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. My kidneys are no longer failing.
Yeah.
They used to be real close to going on dialysis.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
now instead of it being at what we called a 4.5 and stuff, I'm now up at a 2.
Whoa. I love hearing
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm really into physical health, but of course from like the Western side of things, but I love hearing about how spirituality and mental health can affect you physically. And the
Absolutely.
good things that can come from
And your
it too.
belief systems, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're constantly telling yourself that you're not worthy or that you're not a good person, that you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not a healthy enough person to do that,
Yeah.
then yeah, you're constantly breaking yourself down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I mean by changing your mind, changing your attitude.
Gotcha.
And I go to bed every night saying, I can heal myself. I believe in the power of my mind.
Okay.
That's I have a little mantra that I say every night before I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do something similar.
Yeah.
But I like your phrasing of it. Yeah. I have to try that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But never cut yourself short, because then it's going to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Always believe in yourself. Have faith in yourself. Always use your voice.
Yeah. I wish I had more trust in myself as a little kid. And maybe not everyone's experience is like this, but I felt like as a little kid, I always knew what was kind of true and right. But even when someone older than me was telling me otherwise, I'd give my trust to them, you know what I mean? When I should have just trusted in myself.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
What is a book, quote, or teaching that's deeply influenced you?
Oh, I can't believe I'm brain dead all of a sudden.
That's okay.
Hate that. Has to do with the breaths that we take and the moments that take our breaths away.
Mm. What does it mean to you? Or how does it make you feel, that quote?
That quote, it tells me that breathing is a process and stuff, but it's those moments that take your breath away.
Mm-hmm.
The quote is, it's not how many breaths you take, but it's the moments that take your breath away.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. That is one of my favorite quotes. And for me, that's really what it is. What takes my breath away. Those are the moments that I'm going to remember and stuff that mean the most to me.
Yeah.
It's not all this breathing, but it's what I'm doing when I'm breathing.
Mm-hmm. If your soul could speak directly to the audience right now, what would it say?
It would probably be kind, be forgiving, be soulful, be understanding and compassionate. That's what the true miracles are, is having all of those things. And that's what will change the world.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone could have those things, there would be so much peace and just enlightenment, and there would be a glow around everyone to have those things. Those things are so powerful. It's not the anger or the hatred and thing that's out there. Those are not the power. Not at all. But if you have all of these other things of understanding, of forgiveness, of gratitude for what we have and the abilities we can do with that, that's the power.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to reach out to you and connect with you and your work, how would they do that?
Oh, gosh, you could probably get me through my email or call me, give you my phone number.
Do you have a website or anything like that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I wish I did. I don't even know how to do a website. It's that old age in me, I guess.
Do you want people to connect with you? We can
Oh, I would love to.
put like, text on screen with your email or something. And
Yes, I would love that.
Of course. Yeah. Maybe we can help you with the website too if you want some help.
I'm here to serve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my purpose in this world and stuff right now, is that I am here to serve.
And is there anything else you want to share?
Just that I love you guys so much. This has been such an awesome experience. And
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
the
Beautiful
joy
conversation.
of getting to see you again.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been forever.
Yeah, you had me almost crying a couple times over here.
Oh,
Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was really great hearing your story and all your wisdom, and you're such a beautiful person. So thanks for coming on.
Like I said, I got you fooled.
Well, Diana, thanks again for joining us, and thanks everybody for checking in. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.